Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
And 3.
Number 2.
Hello with the one. America. Look at us. We're back. And you are.
You're welcome.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you. Those of you availing yourself of the visual today, we've got a contrasting styles here. Juan is
man. Well, is that a new sweatshirt you're wearing?
It's anything but new. But I was going to point out you are straight out of work today. We're doing this
out of work
on a Monday afternoon. So so go find the video and you will see what Juan looks like.
One of my many golf shirts, although I don't play golf.
Oh, okay. It looked like a long sleeve shirt you had on.
No, dude, it was cold. I had another.
I was about to say, what the hell are you doing with the short sleeve shirt on?
No, it was cold.
Hard winter. No, this sweatshirt, and I forgot I had this. This is you can't hardly see. It says Newport on it.
All right.
I got this at Newport, I guess. Juan, I'm not kidding. I think this sweatshirt is 25 years old.
Dang.
Maybe 20. Here's the deal, right? I've lived in, and I probably got this, I'm pretty sure, when I was living in Georgia, maybe on that trip. We're pretty easy on winter clothes, right? I mean, we live in the South. So even your favorite stuff, even your favorite, sweatshirts or sweaters or whatever, if you wear them 4 or 5 times a season.
If that, I got stuff that I promise you, I forget that I have.
Same. That's this. And right. And what happens is you go through and throw away clothes. Well, this thing, and it's a nothing sweatshirt, bro. I mean, it's just a big floppy sweatshirt.
It looks comfy though.
Oh, dude. It's like I'm doing a podcast wearing a comforter, man.
Right. It looks very soft.
Yeah. I mean, it's not very appealing. I'm looking at that now. It's huge. I think I weighed about 20, 25 pounds more. I don't know if I went with the XL sweatshirt, but I've always, I don't know if it was a sentimental value or whatever, but you go through when you throw away, and there's just always stuff. I'm not throwing that. So I promise you, I've thrown away 100 different sweatshirts and various, you go places. Of course, I don't do it as much anymore because in the earlier days of travel, you were all excited about traveling and you felt the need to, I don't know, buy something.
Yeah, as a souvenir.
Right. You just did. And, dang near 30 years down the line, you know what? I think I'm good, but I don't have to. Yeah, I guess I don't need the sweatshirt or the polo with whatever. But all about because it was cold today, man.
Dude, it's gonna be colder tomorrow here. You probably haven't.
No, we're coming out. Yeah, we're gonna be
low 30s tomorrow.
For some reason, Houston, we're gonna be in fact, we're gonna get up to 80 tomorrow, I think, or close to it, or at least the lower 70s. But
I think by midweek or probably tomorrow afternoon we'll be warm again, or nice. But
yeah, well, bro, you're gonna catch a light freeze tonight, is what they're telling us.
Yeah, I'm barely north of I-10. So
have you brought in your what is it?
My tender vegetation.
Tender vegetation.
Nah, I like my vegetation to either toughen it out or,
I think you might.
Next year.
I think you guys, those of you listening, and by the time you hear this, it may well be tomorrow. Although I'm just finding out from Juan that he is off tomorrow. So
right, bank holiday, baby,
and
Veterans Day.
And thank you for your service, veterans.
Yeah.
Today, as we record this, is the 250th anniversary of the Marines.
The Marines.
Simplify. So. Thank you for your service. Shout out to my nephew Adam, the Marine that I think the closest Marine in my family. Oh, for sure in my family. But so this podcast may be coming. I tell you what, the podcast will probably roll out on Veterans Day.
Yeah, that's right. In honor of
whether or not it was sort of accidental, but let's pretend it wasn't. And there you go. But it's that season. I'm sure all across the great state of Texas and Louisiana, all the check tire, low pressure tire gauges were everywhere. Everybody that was floating around that magic 34,
Yeah,
35
yeah.
PSI. Nope.
It drop about 2 or 3 pounds. That light gonna pop on in the morning.
Got to 30, but so that's going on. Get your heaters going, and hopefully those of you that are involved in the government can afford your next.
Yeah,
It looks like they're ending the
that's what I heard, man. The seems to be a loss for the people are now calling for Schumer head.
Oh, it's all kabuki. It's all a
Now,
lie.
this is though what I want people to understand
By the way,
about.
but the point is
No,
this:
no,
when we're saying this,
yeah.
it was announced, I guess, this morning that they have an agreement or should have an agreement to.
Right, and they said they could vote on it as early as Wednesday or whatever, and
They're going to
so
end. They're going to
um,
end the government shutdown. But guess what? It's all coming again. They're kicking the can
taking
until
that
maybe
to
January.
mid-January or something like that. And yeah, when was the last time they had a whole budget for a year?
No, it's a. So this is kabuki. It's a lie. They're all lying. And let me tell you this with all sincerity, y'all. If those of you that still watch TV, those of you that get your news on social media, those of you wherever you get your news, whichever politician you like, whoever your favorite dude is or favorite dudette is, right? They're lying to your face. There's not
Yeah,
a, they are, it's all a game. It's even the people, even the quote unquote 8 Democrats who are going to cross the line to vote with the Republicans to do whatever. Guess what? It's all eight. There's a backdoor agreement that they're allowed to do
right.
this.
They're crossing the line to benefit themselves.
They're
They ain't crossing
crossing
the
the
line to
line
benefit you.
with the approval of their team, and
Yeah,
also knowing that, oh, we're gonna have to come out and pretend that we're all furious at you and call you everything but a child of
yeah.
God, and
It's
that's the lie that's happening right now. Y'all don't believe a
but
word of it.
this is the thing that bothered me the most is the hinge pin that apparently has this whole thing has uh, um, rested on or been the pushback is the affordable care act
Always a
slash
lie.
Obamacare.
Correct. That was always a lie.
Right. There was no cut. They're just not renewing. First of all, the whole Affordable Care Act thing, the name is a joke to begin with.
Correct. Correct.
Because if you remember when they passed that way back when, it was going to be self-supporting. So weren't that's how it was going to be cheaper.
Another
Is
lie. Another
right.
lie.
Money was going to so now the reason care is apparently going up is because it ain't getting no more government subsidies.
Because the key thing about being affordable means it has to be bailed out, right? I mean,
Right. Right.
it's that or but no, it was all a lie. It was all a lie. If you want your doctor, you can keep your doctor. A lie.
Yeah.
Total lie. And what really hit people, and we may, Juan, we've done this podcast for 1,000 years now, is that if you worked for somebody else, an employer, a big employer, like a lot of people do, so you got to keep your insurance, and I'm not even 100% sure how much it went up or if it went up, or a lot of times what happens is your policy, basically, even if they don't raise your rates, what they
They'll
do is
shift some of the benefits
they
and
destroy.
stuff.
Yeah, your deductibles go up. They
Right.
fight you more on and now guys like me, it happened right, man. I started my own company right when that crap rolled out, and I saw firsthand awful. I mean, what it did. It used to be that an individual, your own company or a small company, just a handful of people, you could go out on the market and buy an insurance policy that was basically tied to, your age and
Yeah.
right, or just buy a catastrophic policy,
Right.
right, which just meant, hey, I'm going to have a deductible of, I don't know, 10, 15, $20,000. I got to do that, but you just wanted something for just in case.
Right. Which is all what insurance used to be years ago.
Well, I got news for you. So what they did was they paid off the insurance companies. The only people that came out with this is insurance companies that made
Right.
billions and billions and billions, and hospitals. It's a money flowing, right? There's a reason that those of you that have had to deal with any medical bills, whether it's hospitals, doctors, whatever, it makes the DMV look organized.
Oh,
It
it's
is
insane.
it's god awful. You don't even know what gets paid or if it gets paid or wait, I got a deductible. This is what I'm supposed to be. And oh, wait, the insurance company only decided they were going to pay this amount. And then they're going to turn around and bill you for what the insurance company didn't pay. You thought you had insurance. No, you really didn't.
Right. Or then it's like, okay, well, do I pay that bill now or do I wait? And it's, I'll wait till it's like 90 days past
Oh,
due
listen,
before
listen.
thinking about paying.
I feel for anybody that deals with that stuff. I mean, I've got empathy and sympathy. I've been on both
Hmm.
sides. I've seen it, and it's awful. But anyway, back to our point. But this is what they did when they lied to get this going, and they tried to overturn it. And hey, who remembers John McCain walking up to John McCain ended up being the vote that if John McCain votes to get rid of this atrocity back
Hmm.
then, it goes away, right? And we try to settle things back to normal. Well, no, he did what he did. He bailed. He didn't bail. He stabbed people in the back,
Yeah.
which I don't think was covered by Obamacare. I don't know if a knife in the back was covered.
Yeah, and he didn't sign up for it himself anyway.
Correct. And that's the other thing too. Nobody in Congress has to they all got the golden policies. But it was always built that it was going to come up to this. Like um it had to be approved. It had to be extended.
Yeah,
It
right.
was
And
built in.
the supplements that's going away now, COVID era subsidies.
Oh my gosh.
So
Even
yeah,
even more. Well, that's the other thing they did. They just pumped bajillions of dollars. And when they say they pumped it into the economy, y'all, there's a reason that y'all not all sitting around and your butt hurts from all the dollars stuck in your wallet, or the reason that you don't spend your day just wondering about what you're going to do with all this money that's been pumped into the economy was it was never pumped to you.
no.
Okay. It was pumped to the insurance companies, to the big retailers, to the IT companies. It was pumped, right? So, and all what happens when that happens is everything costs more for you. Okay. And there you go. That's what's happening. So they claimed that they claimed they were shutting the government down because, the Dems were going to fight for that and they wanted to extend this and blah, blah, blah. And then that really wasn't the case. They just wanted to throw a hissy fit, try to blame Trump, whether he's to blame or not, try to blame Trump for a shutdown, which is kind of funny to say, wait, who's shutting it down? Like the one side's been voting to do this.
Right. And president can't shut it down.
Correct. So, but then, it was on principle. And then they had the election in Virginia and New York, and
Yeah, okay. That election's out of the way. Now we can
that's out of the way. So their principal just went with it. And so that's the thing. So get ready. We're going to be dealing with all this again
Oh yeah.
soon enough. So it's a lie. They're all crooks, cheats, and cowards. Um, Congratulations, the most successful investor in the history of investing,
Dude, the
Nancy
Pelosi's.
Pelosi. Pelosi is
What was it,
retiring.
like 16 gazillion
It was incredible. She she she
percent return?
she's accumulated a wealth of $150 million while she is rolled off. So hey,
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was like 16,000% is what her return on investment was.
pretty good. Warren Buffett couldn't touch her, man. Couldn't touch her. But anyway, so she's out there. We'll come back and complain about that kind of stuff. But here's it was a good weekend football wise.
Dude, you were at a miracle game.
Didn't know I was at a miracle game. Didn't look like a miracle game, but of course, let's all understand something too. We're talking about the Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was a lovely day out in Houston. It was a little windy, and everybody can agree the worst kind of weather is wind.
Yeah.
Man, look, give us in order, right? Give us heat, give us maybe light rain, give us cold. Cold is better than torrential rain. But all of those things are better than freaking wind.
I can see like today. I mean, it's like what it was probably 55 when I walked out of the office, but the wind was whipping.
I
So it
don't
was
care.
like cold.
I felt bad for my buddy Scott. He has, he's one of the grill masters out there, and it's other stuff. And he had his nice. He always has a really pretty glass olive oil sprayer thing, and that's what he sprays on the grill and ever. Freaking wind blew it off the thing and broke it.
Oh wow.
Grown men. It's kind of funny. there's a few things that would upset a bunch of grown men, man. We looked over and saw our buddy Scott lose his favorite olive oil spraying bottle, and we were all just distraught. Like,
You knew how important it was.
I know. You know,
And then that's probably going to affect, what you eat that comes off the grill.
and you know, a child could have fallen 3 feet to the ground, and we just said, "Yeah, dust him off. He good. He good. He gonna heal, but not that olive oil bottle." So yeah, it was a beautiful day. We get into the game, Texans against the Jaguars, and it looked like we blinked. I mean, it was, barely like, huh, what? We're down 10-0, and then we're down like 17-0. And that's when you start thinking, man, I don't want to stay for this nonsense. And then somehow, I guess we scored. Anyway, we were down 19 to start the fourth quarter.
Right. They scored 28 points in the fourth quarter.
26 points.
All right.
We went for two and didn't get it. And
All
the last 6 points were purely fluke and made Vegas mad or happy, depending on whether or not you had the Jaguars plus 1.5, because that's where it was. The Texans were about to win by 1, so anybody who had bet the Jaguars was going to get paid.
Yeah.
And then last play of the game, Trevor Lawrence coughs it up or does something, and the Texan runs it in for a touchdown with no time on the clock. He could have taken the Texans.
And that was the winning?
No.
Or they were already ahead?
So basically, Texans are up by 1.
All right.
The Jaguars would have been in position because they got the kicker. This is where I knew we were going to get our heart broken.
Yeah, because that dude kicked like 100 yards last week.
This guy set the NFL record with a 68-yard field goal that they said would have been good from 70. Okay, so they didn't have to do much to get in field goal range for this guy. And I'm sorry, those of you that are bored with football, but since most of you with YouTube TV don't get to watch stuff, hey, just close your eyes and let me walk you through this. So it was going to be the third time this year, because I was up and sitting there, and my son was next to me, and my buddy Kurt, and we looked at each other and said, "It's the third time we're going to lose a game the same freaking way." Weeks ago, Baker Mayfield, 4th down, we had everything stopped. That guy breaks a tackle. He runs for like 30-something yards, ends up setting up the winning score. Last week against Denver, we had Denver beat the whole damn game. End of the game, all they got to do is put a stop. They got everybody covered. Hey, nobody decides to watch the quarterback. He runs for like 30 yards, sets up the winning score. This time, dude, it's there. Hey, anybody want to look at Trevor Lawrence? Maybe he's a football player too. Yeah. Guy breaks about a 20-something 30-yard run to put them into field goal range. When thankfully, the most horrible, because it was a horrible refereeing crew yesterday. We were happy when we saw a yellow flag fly out.
Wow.
And it was a legit call. I saw it after. It was a legit call. The offensive lineman went hands to the face. He went to block, and he ended up getting his hand up underneath a lineman's. So it's sort of a blatant one, right? Knocked him back enough to, so they couldn't. So even a guy with a 70-yard leg couldn't
that good.
So then we were just holding our breath, like, all right, we just got to stop them, and then end up. And the defensive guy that got the ball, could have just taken a knee. In fact, the proper NFL thing to do,
take a knee so you don't get knocked down and fumble. Yeah.
In the freaking game. Exactly. Like, by running it like he did, being chased by somebody else, you follow me? Fall down, the game is over. Take the W. You're making it interesting, but they scored, and there you go. And we walked out.
Yeah, I always tell people a lot of my math practice comes still from running the clock, or in my mind, and figuring out how the Saints can lose a game. I hadn't had many of those opportunities this year, but dude, just when you're ready for them to lose out the rest of the year and get a high draft pick, now they're looking, and again, one game, but the Panthers have been hot.
Yes, they've been hot.
Shuck's got a nice touch on the ball. If the Saints can just stop letting Taysom Hill throw the ball, I'd be, much more calm about things.
I forgot Taysom Hill was on the team. So
he was out half the year so far, but that, and then LSU is like pathetic, and
but okay, hang on, before we jump to LSU is what it is. I mean, look, it's the year's over, y'all. Okay, LSU fans, enjoy it. You're not going to the playoffs.
Oh, no. You have you had a quarterback for LSU who started off the season as a high favorite to win the Heisman. That dude gets picked before the 4th round.
It's going
I'd
to
be
be
shocked.
interesting. Yeah, but yeah, but I tell you, and I feel for Nussmeier because I don't think he's a bad guy, but something,
Yeah.
you know what happens though? You make $3 million. You pay a college guy
Mm-hmm.
$3 million to play football, and I'm sorry, y'all. That's not all the money in the world, but that's sort of all the money in the world,
It's a
depending on where
lot.
you come
Yeah, it's
from.
more than I got.
Well, hell yeah. I
Um,
mean, if I
but yeah, I was talking to somebody about
I
that
got
today. I
four
said, you
years of
think that,
eligibility left.
right? I said, you think the dude just don't care at this point?
Oh no, they don't care exactly. And that's the thing about college football now too, is even these guys that are getting paid. Now Nussmeier, he's got to go. I think he has to go to the pros, right? I mean, he doesn't have another year
He's
of
done.
eligibility.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the deal. But if he wasn't done, some of these guys that aren't done, you know what? There's always somebody out there looking. So make a few $1 million. Didn't work out on
Yeah.
the team you're in. On jump ship.
Hmm.
So that's what's happening there. But yeah, it doesn't really matter if the Saints don't get
No,
the
it was
first
it was
pick.
nice for them to win.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they don't get the first pick either because I don't think there's no clear
There's
number
no
one.
quarterbacks.
They say 2 years from now. They say 2 years from now is going
Yeah,
to be a stacked draft. But
yeah,
this next one coming up, I mean, there's going to be some great players in it, but you just don't really know
yeah.
who they are. And I don't trust the Saints to figure that out anyway. So I
No,
mean,
we'll go ahead and get a lineman from some, D3 school or
well,
something.
do what it is, hey man. But so yeah, it's a. I don't even know when's the last time the Saints and Texans won on the same weekend. So there you go.
Not this year, very likely.
No, no, might have been, might be the last, but we'll see. We'll see. We're at where are we next week? We play I think Tennessee, something like that, and
Yeah,
then
y'all can win, man. Y'all should win
our
that.
next
We're
home
off.
game is on a Thursday night. The following, so a week from this Thursday, we play at night against Buffalo.
Buffalo choked
I
yesterday.
know we beat Buffalo last year,
No,
so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that how that turns out. I don't like night games, man. I I'd be tempted. I love tailgating. Tailgating for them is a blast. But man, if I don't get made fun of, I might just go tailgating and then watch the game a little bit in the like outside, listen on the radio or something. And then
at home.
if it's a really good game, I may go inside the stadium. If it's not, I may just go home. I mean, I know I'd probably get disavowed from the tailgating group, and they would never want me. But yeah, man, the fun is the tailgating. The game is just the game is just anxiety and usually heartbreak.
Yeah. Well, we had a little tailgate at a swim meet this
I
week. Yeah.
saw that. That looked really cool.
Yeah, so my daughter swims for University of Houston, um, and the LSU swim facility is the worst thing in the world. It's hot, like miserably hot all year long.
You've been there a
Uh,
bunch of times. That was like a
yeah, I've
home.
been there
That's
a
like a
bunch of
home run.
times, and
Yeah.
when she swam her last meet there, I was thankful. I said I never have to come back to this crap hole again. And lo and behold, they're back.
Wasn't even a few months.
No, no. And but it was nice. I mean, there's a girl from Thibodeau on her team, and I mean we've known them for a while. She's in her second year. But so we talked earlier in the year when we realized they were coming. So well, let's do something. And yeah, so he had somebody cook a big old pot of jambalaya. We bought a bunch of canes and king cakes and all the
Nice.
Louisiana style stuff. We had big tents set up and tables, and so we did that. There's swim and dive teams, so it's probably I guess about 35 girls.
Nice.
And yeah, it was. There were more than Riley had. My daughter had like about 20 of her friends came out to watch and cheer her on. And we joked, we said, there were more people or cheering for Houston than there were for LSU, but most of the people cheering for Houston were from Baton Rouge.
Well, I mean, we got to be like, yeah, with all due respect to the swim teams, don't tend to draw big
No, they don't
crowds,
draw big crowds at all.
right? Because especially the way you sell it, Juan. Yeah, it's hot as hell in there. It's
Yeah, bro.
humid.
Yeah.
It ain't no
It's
fun. You know it's kind of smells of chlorine when you're done. But
a lot.
so I meant to ask you. We literally have not talked about this at all. So your daughter is now swimming there. How's that adjustment
It's
going?
going well. Yeah, I mean, she's big or little fish in a big pond now, but she did well. She had a good meet, came out in both her heats. So placed and scored points. Which
How does that work? Like how? What?
you got to score like in the top 8 to score to get points.
Okay. Okay.
Because even one of her friends was there, and so I said, all right, don't expect a lot. I'm just gonna tell you now. I'm trying and she said that doesn't matter. I said it matters to me.
That's my jeans in that pool.
Right, but so she won her heat on that one and everything, and so I said, oh well, there you go for it.
Good
But
deal.
no, she's doing well. But now it's like, you get, I guess because you got the whole team, so you see, yeah, she's got all the cupping marks on her back and stuff. So the big round look like,
Yeah, I've seen that. What is that supposed to do?
I don't think
A cupping mark, y'all, is when they take it's almost like a suction cup and they put it on you, and
it's
it
supposedly like if you're sore in that area or pain,
Okay.
it draws the blood to that spot.
okay.
It
And when you
makes it
take it
heal
off, it
better.
looks like a not a bullseye, but a big red mark on.
Like a big, yeah, about a 2-inch circle. Well,
Gotcha.
like, a hickey from somebody with a perfectly round mouth or something.
Got you. What's she? So what's her best stroke again?
Backstroke. She does 100 back and 200 back.
Okay. Is there anybody on the UH team that's faster than her at the
Yeah,
back?
yeah. It's like I mean, you got to figure she's a freshman. So,
I mean, I don't know. I
but
don't know
yeah.
how that. I mean,
No,
I
yeah, there are. I mean, she's swimming it. So,
yeah.
um,
I know it's
yeah.
good. It's good.
Yeah.
Good to be. It's good to be the little fish.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. There you go.
And it's odd because then they all come introduce themselves to you. I met girls from Canada, from Venezuela, I think. I mean, there's a few from Turkey. One girl was from Egypt.
There you
And I
go.
said, who knew there was a pool in Egypt? Um, and then my dad was there, and some girl, from California said, I've been waiting. I want to hear somebody talk Cajun French.
Well, there you go.
And she said,
I got the guy for you.
and she said, I love to hear Cajun French. I said, where do you hear? She said, all the videos. I said, what videos? And she said, on TikTok. I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and guess that that's not legit, but it could
Well, you know what? There's a guy that the one she's talking about. There's this dude, and he looks young. He looks like he's in his like maybe lower 30s. Pretty good looking guy, kind of built, beard, and he does that. He talks Cajun French. So,
Okay.
so I can see how they like watching a good looking dude,
Yeah.
talk. And he's legit. I think he's from. I'm gonna say the Lafayette area, one of the smaller
Okay.
towns around there, and he talks. Yeah, it's all. It is 100% legit, but that's funny. Yeah, you want some Cajun? Let me wind up my pop here.
Yeah, he's over here. Come on.
Just
So,
don't. In fact, he brought bingo cards. Let's. You can.
tell me
You
he's
can.
been having, he's on a streak at bingo, man.
Your dad's all. Your dad lives on a streak in bingo. No such thing a streak. It's not a streak if it never ends. He's just the
So,
man. Now you
uh,
sure? Because your dad's still, and he's 90. What now?
91.
He's 91 and still just got his faculties and still a super sharp guy. So you think maybe that he's just the only guy that actually hears and can respond to
Well,
the numbers?
they got to be live for him to hear it, but
Okay. You think
could
maybe
be
that
the
there
only
might be
one
a
who
lot
could
of other
find the
poor people
numbers.
sitting around that table with like they could have had bingo 5 calls ago, but they just didn't.
That's a thought. I'm gonna have to bring that up to her.
You need to say that. Not that I'm doubting him.
No,
I'm sure his bingos are legit, but let's put it this way: if he was walking around helping everybody else mark their cards, do you think there's some bingos sitting there that maybe? I'm just saying, Mr. Semino, I'm not doubting your bingo prowess. It's just, unless
Yeah.
he's cheating, there
And then who would know?
and then more respect. You know what I'm saying? It takes
Right, you could sneak a bingo in on a nickel a card, bro. You would.
takes a lot of energy to do that. So I actually, similar, same, but slightly different subject. I was on a plane, going
Right,
to.
I never did ask you about that. So how did it? Because I've seen pictures in Houston that look atrocious from the lines.
Okay. Two different things. I was going to say, so I'll tell you about that. But I actually ended up on a plane with the University of Houston women's volleyball team.
Oh, you told me that. That's right.
Yeah, these girls started walking, and you play that game, right? And here's the deal. So for first couple ones come on, and I'm like, oh, there's a few. Oh, there must be a team, and then I see a couple of them's got on whatever gear, and I'm like, and then you start playing that game. I'm trying to judge the sport by the physiques and the height. And I'm like, and I knew it wasn't swim. Here's why I knew it wasn't swim, because I knew you guys had something going on.
Yeah.
So, and they're flying to Orlando. Let me think. Could this be the basketball team? They don't look big enough. or mean enough, or I'm not.
Yeah.
They didn't look
Yeah.
like any. It wasn't Angel Reese, okay? They didn't have
Yeah.
any Angel Reese clones, and I'm like, let's see. And then I'm thinking, gymnastics? No, no, there are too many different
Too
sizes
tall.
for.
Yeah.
And then finally, somebody else to the side, and apparently, anyway, then somebody else who said, "Oh, yeah, we're volleyball." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So the volleyball team was there, but I was sitting. I was sitting for. I never do this, but I was sitting on a center seat. First time I sat in a center
Oh
seat.
Lord, I hate
Here's
that.
why. Okay, we talked about the crowd. So I had scheduled for a 2:25 flight out of Houston to go to Orlando. This was on Wednesday, and man, they scare you to death. Get to the airport 3 4
2 days
hours
early. Yeah.
and I'm like, and I had to be there because it was a pretty big thing, and I
Right.
mean, I had, I had to get my butt to Orlando to Disney, and so I show up 4 hours before my flight. Took me 10 minutes to get through security. So now I'm on the other side of security, and it's a packed airport because everybody's getting there early. That's what they don't tell you, man. I mean, like it's just you look. So then I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're just shifting the crowd, basically.
and I'm like, man, it's too early to drink. Like if it was later in the day, I'd have just gone and get a beer, sat down and done some work. But I'm like, and then I mean, well, maybe I can. Let me see if there's an earlier flight. Well, gosh darn it, there is an earlier flight. And I look at it, looks like there's some availability. And I hate the fact that, okay, they don't have no, there's literally no aisle or window available. It was
Mm.
all, and then I saw, well, there's a center seat on exit, which is not great, but all right. So I go,
At least on the exit, you get a little more room.
little bit more. But I walk up there and I'm trying to do it on the app. I'm trying to change my flight, which I'm always scared. We're doing crap on the app because this is gonna. And then something happened, man. I don't even know what. And all of a sudden, I don't even know if I have a flight at all. Like I don't know. Did I just cancel the flight that I was supposed to get on? And because I don't see where I'm on this new one, and it's not refreshing. And so then I walk up to and usually there's not somebody at this
Uh,
the ticket counter till right before they start boarding. But as it turned out, there was this, and I'm just not that it matters, but for my first story, it was this Asian lady working the desk. English was not her
mm.
first language. I don't know that it was her second. It was a language. So she could understand it, I guess. Couldn't speak it that well, but again, that's just so
Yeah.
she knows more languages than me. But I'm trying to communicate with her about what happened, and I don't know, maybe if it was a tone thing or a culture thing, but I mean, I did not like the way she spoke to me. And when I say that, I'm not talking about like, like, oh, I expect I'm the customer, you should be, but just sort of somebody was just like talking to you like you're too dumb to understand an app or how it works or what's going on. And I'm standing there, because she said something, I don't know what it was, like something really. I almost took it as insulting, like like I wouldn't
All right.
know, but And I said, ma'am, I'm a million miler flyer, right? I mean, this is not my first time on a plane, so I do understand how this part works. But what I'm telling you is, I was told on the app that I had an assigned seat, whatever. And no, you have no assigned seat. It's whatever. And I'm like, you're on standby. And I'm like, no, 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 no. It didn't say standby. I would never sign up. I would not do that. It was, and then she was giving me so. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy standing out in front of a bunch of other people. Like, why am I having an argument with this? Like, what? And part of me thinks she doesn't really understand what I'm trying to,
Right. Right. Just here's the problem. You fix it.
you know. So then it was, and I eventually, got on, but it was, and part of it was the app. The United app is terrible, and especially these days, it's all, things.
Yeah.
But yes, I was able to get
To
that center
depart.
seat, and
Yeah.
thankfully, the person on the left and the right of me were not gargantuan human beings. One was a rather slight middle-aged lady, and the other one was a dude, but he was in shape and not big. Like that's the thing, man. Because sometimes you're sitting on the plane, and I'm not judging. I'm just saying, hey, big is big,
Right.
and it
Right.
doesn't
And you
always
can't
mean
fit
fat.
between those seats.
It doesn't always mean fat. You get some people that are just like, hey, man,
Yeah.
If you 6'5" and built, you are large.
Yeah.
It is going to
Yeah.
be hard for you to sit in this coach seat.
Right. Then sit between those little armrests and everything. And
And I'm sorry, if I'm in the center seat, the general rule is those armrests are mine. Right? If you're on the window, you lean to the window. If you're on the aisle, you lean toward the aisle. The poor fool stuck in the middle, bruh,
you can't lean.
those need to be mine. Now, I didn't fight nobody. I didn't have, but I was thinking it. But yeah,
What?
went to Disney. Was stayed at the yacht club.
Okay. On property, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't pay for that. I mean,
No.
my wife talked about coming, but her work schedule didn't allow it, and then we were seeing about maybe to get off. But the place we were with, they would have been able to extend a stay at conference rates early, but not late into the weekend. And man, Disney yacht clubs are stupid ridiculous. It's like, so even my wife, it's expensive even for my wife to say, oh, I don't think I'm going to pay that for. We could only been there for a couple of days, but
Yeah.
look, Disney's great, but to me, it's a depressing place to be by yourself.
Yeah, I got no more desire to go than maybe years from now again, but I don't know. I just have zero.
Yeah, and I got a little melancholy because leaving in the morning, right? So I spoke at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. I'm the
So
kickoff
yeah,
speaker.
you're out of there.
Breakfast is at they start serving breakfast at the conference center. I mean, and the Disney facility is super nice. It's a super nice conference facility just adjacent to the yacht club. So I'm walking out in the morning, and I mean, it's just like sun's barely up. I mean, it's still like the morning dew is out there. And I realized, oh yeah, when you come to Disney, this is when you leave because that's when everybody wants to be there
Yeah, when park's open.
when it opens. So that was a little sad. I was thinking, oh, I was getting flashbacks. Oh, my kids were young, and we go get on that bus and that bus. But my wife asked me, she said, well, did you go like, because she said, I looked at the map. You were right near, you could have walked it. She said, you were like 200 yards from the entrance where Paris is at Epcot, like we do the drinking around the world thing.
Uh-huh.
I told her, I said, honey, I never took a step toward the park. Like literally, I went from my room to the elevator, to the lobby, walking outside because it's covered area, but to walk outside to get to the conference center. I said, I never stepped foot in the direction of any of the parks.
Well, I was joking the other day and told my wife, I said, hey, you want to go to Disney? And we've been because when my daughter cheered, so you'd always go there, and that was always a pain. So that's how I kind of got burnt out on it. But she said, well, we could go and do like, drinking around the world at Epcot or whatever they call it. And I said, I don't want to drink around Baton Rouge. I want to go all the way to Disney to drink around the world.
I did make a joke. That was one of my opening comments, jokes to the people at this conference. There's like, I don't know, 200 something people in the room, a bunch of bankers and tax accountants and stuff. It was, man, it was funny. Great audience for me. I was like, let's see how this works. It went great. But, and I joked about that. I said, how many of you have, been to Disney before or whatever. And I made a joke about, isn't it funny how in the old days, Epcot was the most boring park, man. Nobody wanted, there's nothing in Epcot. And all of a sudden it became every dad's favorite. Yeah. You don't care where they made you go during the day. We're going to Epcot.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Your kids, you go in and say, all right, well, we got 2 hours. I got 3 rides here that the kids want to do, and then we're out of here.
Just hit that. Hey, go around the world. But there you go. So that was the vacation we did not get to take back during COVID. Was that we were staying at the place, I guess it was the beach club, whatever. We were staying like you walk out and just walk straight into Epcot from that. I was looking forward to that, but didn't happen. Oh, and speaking of COVID, this is you know what, man, that's a segue I didn't even plan, dude. Read this week. There's a new German study, and you can say what you want about the Germans, but they're pretty serious when they do studies. They found that during the beginning of the COVID period, Corona, one of all the positive PCR tests around the world, right? Because they all used the same standard and everything. Of the positive tests, in other words, they shoved that thing halfway to your brain, right? There's a reason that if any of you had to take those things where it was painful and you kind of like, oh, because you're not supposed to stick anything that high up
Not
into your.
far up your nose.
It's not supposed to happen. That's that in itself, right? What percentage of the positive results, people that were told, "Oh, you have COVID," what percentage do you think were accurate? Whether somebody literally had COVID and not a false.
Oh gosh.
Now, I just want to say this. This was the standard. This was what we went around the world. We tested.
This is what if you look, and I'm sure the number's lower just because I know you. But
Well, you don't think I'm going to say it was the greatest test ever known?
No,
dude?
no. I had I had COVID early. And I think I had it. But to where it was still, you had to, I had to miss darn near 3 weeks of work, not because I felt bad, just because that was, what the rules were and stuff. Well, so my daughter was supposed to be going to camp. And so they went ahead, my wife and her went ahead and got tested, and they both tested positive, and neither one of them, ever had a symptom, ever.
Here's the deal. Even if you had symptoms, even if you felt like dog crap, dude, it was just, if not more likely that you had the flu. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, not necessarily, but just take a guess. What percentage?
50%.
A little lower. So
40.
so right off the bat, you're saying, wow, that would be really sucky if 50%,
only half were right.
If only half of the people who were told, stop your life, you got to do this, we got to give you this medicine, right? If only half.
Right. And the reason I brought this up about my daughter is because we had to rearrange everything because, well, now she got COVID.
Because this super specific, important, shove this thing up your nose test, right? So no, it was less than 50% accurate.
That's
what you think? Try again.
40.
Try again.
30.
Try again.
20.
Try again.
10.
A little bit better. 14%. Okay, y'all, America, I want you to understand something. And this is not, of course, this is and here's the deal. All this stuff is coming out more and more and more. 14% of the people who were tested they were told they had COVID actually had COVID. Here's what makes sense too, y'all. I mean, again, people just forget and all the way. Congratulations. If you're actually listening to this podcast right now, it means you somehow got through the algorithm.
Well, but then the other thing too, you think about the money involved.
Think about what they destroyed.
What they destroyed with that. The money you had to pay to get a test.
Was it any? Oh, yes, exactly. Think about that too. Yeah, think about the money we spent on tests that had about a 14%. Yeah. It was mostly false and the thing was, but the other thing that, reading the people that are putting this out, basically saying, well, yeah, you guys also remember that apparently the flu for the first time in history disappeared that year?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, nobody had the normal flu that does kill people, and flu's terrible. I've had the flu's freaking awful, but nothing to do with that. So anyway, that was let me check that one off now. So we said the COVID word. So we're gonna see if it still if it still does that. I was in also in Laredo last week. It was an interesting started the week in Laredo.
What's the song? Isn't there a song?
Everybody's thinking it's El Paso.
Okay, that is
the West Texas town of El Paso. I fell in love with a Mexican gal thing.
Whatever.
You used to be able to say things like gal back in the day. I mean, nobody was offended by it. But no, I was in Laredo. Very nice group of people. I stayed in a La Quinta.
Well, how appropriate.
Well, because I didn't book it. I just asked the people and said, "Oh yeah, one of our customers," and they told me, "Oh, it's good. It's fine. It's a customer's hotel." I'm like, and I'm telling them, I don't care. I really don't. I'm not.
Right. Got a bed.
In fact, yeah.
Clean.
So,
right.
and it was clean. It was interesting though. I mean, in Laredo, so the room. And I was on whatever the top floor wasn't very, it was like maybe the fourth or fifth floor, whatever the top floor was. Of course, it was under some kind of construction, so you got to get out the elevator and you just try not to get dust on you from, that's always fun when you're staying in a construction site. But the floors in the room were tile, not a lick of no carpet. Okay, now, and in some ways, That's good because you can clean that. Look like because you don't want to think about the
Hmm.
carpets in a hotel room.
No.
But man, it's sterile. It was like such a sterile room. There's not much on the
Well, and
walls.
I don't, maybe more and more hotels are going to that. Because I went to a work conference, I don't know, last month or in September. Um, and it was just in Shreveport, but it was at a casino hotel, and it had been recently renovated. And the floors in the room were all porcelain tile, which looks like wooden tile, but it's porcelain.
Okay. Yep.
Um, and I had never, that threw me off. And I said, I wonder how often they freaking clean this. But I passed by, when I was getting ready to check out, and they were mopping her
Mopping them.
room.
Yeah, yeah. It's easier to mop, and I trust that part. But the what threw me was after I'd taken a shower and I kind of dry, but I mean I'm in the room by myself, so I'm not
Yeah,
carrying all my clothes and stuff into the room. So I thought I'd you come out, you step on a towel, the bat
yeah.
mat, bath mat towel, or if you're Cajun, the bat mat
The
towel. The shawls you throw on the floor to wipe your feet. So I go gallivanting, walk semi-wet to go to the next room to get my croissant. Dude,
Did you fall?
no, but you know how you go like you get that slip, and when that slip
Dude,
starts,
the slip sometimes is worse than the fall.
you really don't have control of it. You realize that, like when that slip starts, and you realize, oh, I could have gone. I mean, I could have, like I, I, I felt it quick enough to, like, I guess, throw my weight. Like I did the like on ice thing, and I didn't
Mhm.
fall. But I thought that would be just like me to knock myself out or fall and hurt myself.
Yeah, dude, you pull a hammy like that.
Whew, tune you naked in a Laredo, La Quinta, having to call, oh man, that'd have been, but yeah, but I didn't, and I had a lovely dinner that evening with a couple from the bank, and she was great, and they both work at the bank. They're both seniors
Hmm.
executives at the bank, and I was asking just out of curiosity because the reason I was thinking this, and I didn't tell this to them. I was, there's reconstruction going on in this place, and like the floors, there's no carpet. I thought, I wonder if they had a bunch of refugees housed in this place.
Mm,
And this is they're like, yeah, we ain't putting carpet back in that place. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't sure if what I was dealing with was,
yeah.
something designed to basically be hosed down. Um, and the guy told me, he goes, no, he said, Laredo, he said, was not, I asked him, well, how was Laredo during the last few years with the millions of people flowing over?
Hmm.
And he's like, well, he says, not so much. He says Eagle Pass, which is not all that far from where we was.
Right.
Eagle Pass was terrible. Eagle Pass was like ground central, ground
Ground zero.
zero, and El Paso. But he says Laredo was not that bad. Now, kind of said, oh, I was curious. And then he volunteered this. He goes, oh, no. He says, now we're having dinner. I don't know that I could have walked to the border. I mean, it would have been, I was probably a couple miles from the border. I mean, we were right, just, Mexico is right there. Okay. And he said, yeah, no, no. He says the cartels, right? They run that place. He says the cartels decided that Laredo was not going to be where the flood of people were coming through because, they need that Laredo corridor to smuggle humans and drugs and all the awful things that they do. But they just decided that, now, these weren't his words, by the way. He just said
Right.
but he did say the cartels control all that. And that's always been my line. People that talked about the border, yo, you can't secure your security. Our border is 100% secure on that side.
Yeah.
Nobody comes over that without the cartels knowing about it. But it's kind of bizarro, kind of sitting there. And I didn't go any deeper than that. I just nodded and thinking in my head, I said, "Ooh, man, you ever watch my podcast?"
It's funny. I don't know, and I don't know what made me think of this. I guess because Laredo, when I was doing work for Canes, and they started opening in way southern Texas, um, I would find myself without. I mean, it was totally, not by choice. It just seemed to happen. When I would call somebody down in those southern areas, like really close to the border, and I would leave them or I would some reason or another would say, "Yes, my name is Juan," and I have never pronounced my name like that in my life. But when I was
Juan?
on the phone there, yes, my name
Hola.
is Juan.
Hola. My name is Juan. You may know me from the Dev and Juan podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, and on the way back in, right? So I ended up driving to Laredo because of all the scares about the airport
Yeah.
and stuff. And I figured it's about a 4:15, 4.5 hour drive from. So I guess I know that now, Juan. If I ever want to head to the border, I'm 4.5 hours
Yeah,
from the
dude.
border.
4 hours.
I can be in Mexico in
5 hours.
4.5 hours.
You're done.
No, that's it, man. I mean, that's it. Just going to live on the beach somewhere. But I drove it because of all the worries about the airport and get there early and everything. And I figured by the time
Right.
I would be 4 to 5 hours invested getting to fly. So okay, I just drove it. Got another car and drove it. On the way back from Laredo, you're coming up I-59, coming back in about, I don't know, 10, 15 miles inside the border, but heading in. There's a border check. And I thought, what you doing with a border check? 10 freaking
Is there a
miles.
crossing point in Laredo?
Yes, a major, massive crossing point. I mean, like maybe, yeah, like I want to say the most traffic coming out of Mexico is right there, Nuevo Laredo and Laredo, dude. It is a major area of commerce. Okay, but the the border check is like 10 miles in, and I'm by myself, right? And it was quiet time, and I kind of pull in. You got to stop and put the window down, and yeah, the guy just young guy. He's all vested up though, man. I mean, he's.
Do they check under your cars like with mirrors and
No,
everything?
they didn't do that, but they kind of walk, and I was driving a little SUV that didn't have a trunk, so they made me pop the trunk. But I saw some other people. They like if it's a big truck that comes through, they look, and he looks there, and he said, and the last thing he says, "There, go, you have a good day." Says, he looked at me, and says, "Are you a citizen?" And he wasn't joking. That was that. Are you a citizen? I looked
Yes,
at him.
I am, bro.
I looked at him. I said, "Sí, señor." Should have said, "Man, bruh, am I a citizen?"
Yeah, citizen, but citizen of the world.
Man, I'm a graduate of South Lafourche High School. You know South Lafourche High School, who's the last person that won the championship at LSU football was a South Lafourche High guy,
Well,
and the new president
and
of
the new
LSU.
president.
Congrats to Wade. Does he help me out here? And I don't even know that I know this now. Does he say it Roos or Rouse?
I don't know. I don't, because you posted something about that, and then Rick said, so Rick spelled it differently.
Right. But I don't
But
know I don't know if you say it
how.
like Rouse's supermarket. I don't think he's tied to
But
that.
this dude's got two S's in his name.
Oh, it does. Okay, is that the case? I should know this. He's a few years younger than me. I went to this, but I mean, I know people who just went to school with him. But anyway, congratulations to whether you say it Roos, Rouse,
Yeah.
Rose, Roosisis, I don't know, whatever. But it's a South Lafourche and graduate of Nicholls State. Now he went on.
Yes.
He went get a lot of.
He
other
went to
degrees.
get other stuff, but
I mean,
that's where it all started.
all started at Nicholls, bro. All started at Nicholls.
He
So
probably heard of us.
So congrats to that. So look for the crawfish boils to be a little bit better at coming across. Let's see what else. Yeah, stuff. Oh, dude, man, we might start with this one next time, but I'm going to send it to you later. I hope that Tucker Carlson has the best security in the world, because that dude, like, you know what, he has a show, and I started watching the first like 10
Now,
minutes
I
of
heard
it.
some stuff because he did a tour stop with Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, but that's about Nick Fuentes and stuff. Screw that
Okay.
guy. I don't even know who that guy is. No. He's got one out, dude. Talking to a guy who's like the world expert, or he's like, but he's trying to, he's the guy that's got this figured out about chemtrails.
Look at you, man. All right.
Man, and Juan.
So what do they say they are?
Listen, dude, you know what they are? It doesn't make you furious. And I shouldn't say this, but I am. I got to watch the whole thing, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't start off the podcast the first 10 minutes where this guy's explaining stuff. And then later on, it's like, oh, psych, it's not true. The guy, and he gives the reasons why he started studying this, where he was, what he was doing. He's like living off the grid kind of deal. He's a scientist, engineer, whatever he is. And he uses solar and wind and whatever. And he was wondering why he was not getting the solar impact he should, like he was not getting the energy. But he also noticed these freaking chemtrails, and he explains how that is not, it's a lie. It is not water. It's not water vapor, and explain why. He says, hey, when it's cold and you're outside and you're breathing and you can see your breath, Do you have a cloud that builds up around you?
Right.
No. All these cars in the morning when they're driving and it's cold and they got, cold condensation coming out. Does that create a cloud? No, because that's not how it works. So he started studying stuff and like rainwater and everything that got him going. It's freaking aluminum particulates, and he gives the name of it. He said it's toxic to every living thing. It's likely, and again, I'm going to rush the thing, and because I got zero reason to doubt this guy. The global warming people. What have they been preaching and crying about forever? The Earth's heating. The Earth's heating up. It's dangerous. So, what would be ways to maybe try to cool the Earth that us peons would not know about? How about we just spray? And it works. It freaking works. To like block
So it's cool.
block energy.
Yeah.
Now you can't do it but because, and he started talking about, I got to go back, even how after 9/11, how Iran and some of these other countries had some of their 1,000-year droughts where it would be impossible for all that stuff to happen in these various regions, because we started doing, like, part of what we started doing to those countries to destabilize. You can destabilize a country by starving a country, or making it, or putting a dent in its ability to produce food. One of the ways you can do that is by not letting it rain, stopping stuff from raining. But anyway, so
how does it get up there?
Huh?
How does it get up there?
Oh, they got footage of planes, and it's usually, I don't know if it's planes. I don't know that it's passenger jets that are doing this, but they said no, they've and he gives the things, how they found it, how they studied the cameras they got, where you see the jets, you see stuff being sprayed. It is 100% being sprayed. And it is an aluminum. He gave the special kind of aluminum, whatever, that stays up there and it reflects, and yeah, bruh.
Well,
and look,
I'm gonna have to tell my stepdaughter to go check that out.
I will send you the link tonight. I'm gonna finish watching it. I'm fascinated. I'm like, oh, you sons of made total freaking sense. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like watching the movie The Sixth Sense, and then something becomes so obvious.
Yeah.
And that's part of what Tucker starts off talking about, and this guy talks about. It's like, you just know. He calls it like the gorilla in the sky. You know that's not right. You know that's not normal. You know they're lying to you. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
because why would it hang up there for that long?
But the thing ends up being, why? Why would anybody be doing that? Why? Oh, if your religion is a global warming.
Well, yeah, the climate change stuff is a religion, basically.
There you go. Yeah, because Bill Gates basically came out and said that.
Yeah.
You saw that? One of the guys that has been the most, global warming is going to ruin us. And then about, a couple months ago, he says, yeah, probably not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Sorry about that. Sorry about the lives I've ruined.
Y'all didn't believe that, did you?
Oh, yeah. I'm on to AI now. That's the other. That's the other thing with AI. Come to find out that AI is sucking up all the energy, y'all. Your power costs around the country are going up. Why?
They're building a couple of facilities. I think Microsoft is doing one of them in Louisiana, and it's basically just to generate power for AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Google have some trying to, whether they did or not, many nuclear plants. Basically, yeah, that's so it's just wonderful. So get ready, those of you that are going to lose jobs, or many of us, right, from AI. Oh no, by the way, all your bills are going to go up because it's crazy. You think about that, like, oh wow, you think it's magic. Well, it's magic that requires basically as much energy. Yeah, it requires as much electricity as we're using now. It's crazy. It's but here's the good news, Juan. 100 years, we're all dead.
At least, most of us.
Going to see the Lord, Juan. Let's go. Let's all go see the Lord. Hopefully not, tonight, but
yeah, well, no. Yeah, it could be like my dad. My dad said, "Your mom must not miss me. I'm still here. She hadn't worked it out for me to come up there." I said, "Stop! That is like the saddest and most heartbreaking thing ever."
Yeah. But it's, I could see that one, dude. I feel old. I'm not all that old yet, but I think we may have joked about this, because I know I joke with my wife about that all the time. It's like, I'm good. I don't want to leave anybody in a bind. I don't want to, you would feel for the people that would literally, be upset or kind of rely on you right now. But it's like, man, you're lying. Dude, when we were in our 20s, if somebody just said, hey, man, you can make 60 and, basically be in decent health. I mean, you're going to we all have stuff along the way, right? But, you can still be sort of mobile, still have your faculties about you. I'd be like, I'll take that deal.
Yeah.
All right. And now you're like, oh, I might be here a while longer. I hope to be anyway.
Yeah. Well, I need an upgrade.
But you know who's not going to be here much longer? This podcast, this show,
right.
because we have reached the end of the buffet line, y'all. We're going to push the button, get on out of here, see if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape in the sky. We hope it did. If you want to reach us, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com.
And right here, wherever here happens to be for you.
You did it once, you can do it again. And once you do it twice, it's a habit. Actually, 3 or 4 times is a habit.
I think 7. But
okay, whatever. I'm not a scientist, although I play one on a podcast, y'all. Although I will talk about chemtrails still. Like cows coming home. Our cows who are being poisoned by the aluminum they're spraying in the air. I'm thinking I got to go finish watching the podcast, but I think that's where it's going. So anyway, we tell you every week it's not a suggestion, hint, or subtle implication, y'all. It is
that's a freaking mandate, bro.
Freaking mandate. Go live your best life. Live your best life. Take your shots, y'all. Take your shots. Good day, bad day. Brush yourself off. Feels a good day.
Easy to do, man. It's I got a girl who works beside me who moans and groans all the time. I'm so depressed. I said, well, you sound better this afternoon. See, there you go. That's the first step.
Listen, man. Well, you do program yourself. I actually talk a little bit about that in some of my presentations I'm just as guilty as anybody. It's like, hey, look, I always say I don't pretend that I'm above this. I do it myself. Right. You go through those days where you realize, man, I'm mad at everything today. Like I am, because you program it, y'all. You program yourself. You will find what you are looking for. Look for a reason. You like to be grateful for what's going on today. You'll probably find it.
That's right. And program yourself to find the better.
Look for people to make you mad. Whoo, buddy. You're going to find some people to make you mad. But here's something, y'all. If you keep running into chews and quack chews and on plots all day long, maybe it's you.
So I'm going to tell you, as you're saying that, so a friend of mine from New Orleans texted me over the weekend. She said, what is that thing that Dave says that means like crazy or dumb cages? And I said, quack-chew? Yeah. I said, okay, I don't know how to spell it, but yeah.
I think quack-chew be like a dumbass. Chew.
Yeah, well, that's what I told her.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we just call him a quack. That dude's a quack. Yeah. That's all you needed to say. All right. Well, hey, everybody, y'all don't be a quack. Join us next time. We're going to get together, compare notes, do all that fun stuff again. Until then, y'all live your best life. Have a great week. Be careful out there. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So I don't know if you ever noticed. So our mutual friend, Mark, who goes by another name on social media, will sometimes jack with people who, like, you get these spam text messages and stuff, and it's like, hey, how you doing and stuff. So I always look at that and I laugh. That's kind of funny. Well, then I saw it was like a meme the other day, and it said, next time you get a spam phone call, answer it in a whispering voice and say, hey, it's done, but man, I'm freaking out. There's blood all over the place.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm at work the other day and my phone rings. And sure enough, and I tell a young guy who works with me, I said, hey, check this out. Listen. So I do it. I say, pick up the phone. And I said, yeah. I said, it's done. But man, look, I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. I got blood all over the place. And I hear, Juan, this is Eileen from the Advocate newspaper. Are you okay? Oh, well, guess we're not doing that again.
What were we just talking about? Quack chews?
Yep.
It's over. Go home.